Hello. We're going to be doing a quick tutorial today on how to turn your pet pictures into a cartoon character using Stable Diffusion. Now, first things first is you have to get your hands on the Stable Diffusion installation. For today, we're going to be using the automatic 1111, which is locally installed on my computer. Now, second thing here is that we have to choose a checkpoint today. For today, we are using Disney Pixar cartoon. So this collection will turn any prompt we give it into a Disney Pixar image. Now, a quick review of what a checkpoint is. It is basically a collection of photos, a collection of examples the AI can go in to choose from to make sense of every time you give it a prompt. So choosing the right checkpoint is winning half the battle here. For today, we're going to be using image to image. What we're doing is that I have already prepared a picture of my cat. He's hiding in the chair. Now, for prompts, usually I break it down to 3 parts. The first part is a very specific message of what your picture is. Right? Of what you want for your picture, of what you want for your picture. Number 2 are other things I want for the picture. Number 3, last but not least, we have stylistic choices, right? So for today, 1, 2, 3, bam. So for my number 1, I want a black cat. I want a black and white cat with a black face. What? A gray and white cat. Dark gray and white cat with a dark gray face sitting under a dining chair in a dining room. Number 2 will include parameters such as well lit, white room, site lighting. And number 3 includes 4K resolution and high-res, maybe not photo, high-res drawing. And maybe we can put it hand-drawn. Now for negative prompts, I don't want deformities. I don't want extra fingers. I don't want extra body parts, right? So onwards down to here, we have the image that I put in. Now we're on to this part. Sampling method and schedule types. Long story short, this is the mathematical algorithm that is being used by the AI to sample this checkpoint we have. Okay. And this in combination will give the AI its algorithm. So long story short here is that 9 times out of 10, I personally use either Euler or 2M. If you want a better explanation, there are charts online that gives you a better a better explanation of how these things are different. Now for the schedule type, we can just use automatic for our purposes. Okay, resizing, width and height. If we want a square picture, we're going to do 512 by 512. If we want 16 by 9 picture, we're going to do 15 and 768. Batch count and batch size here is how many times the picture should be generated with one click of a button. For our purposes, we're just doing a demonstration, so we're just going to be doing 1 of 1. CFG scale indicates how closely the output image will adhere to the prompts we have given it, whereas the denoising strength will tell the AI of how closely we want to adhere to the sample picture we've given it. For the CFG scale, the larger the number, the more creative it becomes. And for the denoising strength, the same concept. The larger the number, the more creative it becomes. And because we do have a sample here, let's give a little less freedom. Let's say 0.6 and see how that goes. Now we have everything set up. Let's take a look. So we're starting to see the first bits. One thing I missed, the steps. So how Stable Diffusion works is that every time it generates an image, it will ask itself, how closely is my picture compared to the prompts I was given, and the picture I was given in this case. So 20 means it will ask this question 20 times. If you want more details in your picture, chances are you want a higher sampling step. Whereas if you want a less detailed picture that looks more like a Picasso drawing, you want less steps. My general rule of thumb is that start at 20, increment by 5, and see how that goes. Now, as we can see here, the results we're getting, the AI is trying to make the best sense of these chair legs I have. At this iteration, it thinks that this could be interpreted as cabinets. So you see the brown here, you see the brown here, you see the chair legs here, right? And that's how you get a picture. Now this picture isn't very close to what we have, so let's change the parameters a little and see if we have better results. I'm going to drop this 0.6 into a 0.5. Right. And see how that goes. While we're here, I just want to point out that the C number here at -1 means that every picture we generate will be a different picture. Whereas if we give it a specific number, as we can see on the side here, so our random number today is 27 da 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 da. If we use this number, if we paste it here, we will get more or less the same picture if every other configuration is the same. Now let's do a 0.5. Let it load. As we can see, when I dropped it down to 0.5, the first image is much closer to what I have in the sample picture. We can see clear constructs of the table legs. Now let's see if these get filtered out after a few more steps. And my biggest concern right now is that the kitty is not as chunky as my kitty. Maybe I should have put in a fat, dark gray and white cat with a dark gray face sitting on their dining chair in the dining room. Maybe that would give me better results. All right, so now this picture is much more similar to the picture I have given it. Now, let's do it one more time. I'm just gonna do a 0.45. Okay. I think we actually have a pretty close image here. It's just this little white part and these bands on his lines aren't exactly matching. You know what? We're actually going to be doing something else. We're going to be sending this image into image to image. So now this picture will replace the original image we have. Okay. We're going to tell the AI, we're going to choose InPaint, and then we're going to send it to InPaint, sorry. There we go. We're going to tell the AI this is actually a black face. So we can do that by coloring in the face, right? Usually we want to color a little more than what we have. Now let's pray that it works out. A cat with a dark gray face. Okay. Now, we want to make sure the in paint area, we only want to do the masked. We only want to paint over the masked portion. Otherwise, we'll generate everything again, and that's not what we want. So one more time. And lo and behold, this is the final result we have. Now, the face itself could be darker. At this point, I think it would be easier to fix it in Photoshop. Maybe we want to use the previous picture to fix in Photoshop. That might be a little easier for us. But long story short, we are done with the AI portion of the project. Now, new file, clipboard. Okay. So we're gonna do, oopsies, brush. We're just going to turn this layer, put one more layer over it. We're gonna do some coloring for this layer. You just wanna, color over it. Why is my pen not working? What is going on? What is going on? Ah, there we go. Okay, so we're just going to be coloring over this part. We want to use maybe something a little darker. Switch. Okay, let's turn down the opacity a little. Okay. And then this part, the pink nose, we gotta fix a little. Wait. And then we're just gonna brush a little because it looks a little strong right now. The edges looks a little rough, so we're just gonna brush it out a bit with the smudge tool. And I do want to fix his nose before. Okay, so we're gonna copy, paste, paste, copy, paste. We're gonna do transform. We're gonna flip it by the axis, x-axis. Put the other nostril in. We'll adjust the up and down a bit, and there you have it. That's a good kitty.